Event so far. Give it up. It's my first time in a long time addressing all of you guys in an event like this. And so, you know, there's a little bit of pressure to deliver. I felt kind of relieved in a way because I recently did pretty much this talk at an event that we had in North America. And so I wasn't too concerned about the section. I said, I got it. I did this a month ago. Should be fine. And then I'm backstage like an hour ago, going through my notes, and then decided to watch my video from when I did it last time. And I'm like, holy crap. Like 70% of the stuff that I said is not in my notes. So you may or may not get the same presentation that I did a month ago, but hopefully the concept will be the same. The concept will be the same. But I guess you'll get whatever I think at the moment, whatever comes to mind, based on the energy that you give me. So let's see what happens. I'll start with a brief story of myself. 35 years old. My wife and I started this business at the age of 22, 23. We've been in the company now for 12 years. And, you know, it's been an interesting journey. I was extremely skeptical in the beginning, wanted nothing to do with the company. But I was looking for an opportunity. No idea that our life would be that opportunity for us. We were looking for an opportunity. No idea what life would be that opportunity. By the time I was 22, I had 18 different jobs, over $100,000 in debt from student loans or careers that we never finished between my wife and I. No skills, no direction, all these dreams, aspirations, and all this stuff, and no idea on how we were going to accomplish it, no vehicle to get there. Found this company through my parents. We just joined to lose some weight and feel better. They eventually got involved in the business, and obviously we were one of the very first people that they came to offer us the opportunity. Again, super skeptical. In fact, I tried to talk them out of doing it. I even went to an event to try to get them to leave the event and end this once and for all. I'm glad they didn't listen to me, honestly, because here I am today, 12 years later, my life changed, and so the life of so many other people, and so I'm glad they didn't listen to me. I'm glad they stayed true to what they were committed to. That might be some of you right now. And, you know, you'll see throughout my section, obviously, my section will have some positive things in it, but also have some things that might make you think, and that might make you, you know, feel some kind of way. And so, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, and there's some things that you may or may not like. But my purpose, and the point of this section is that you grow from it, and then you get better from it. Is everybody interested? Okay. That's the point. That's the point. The point is that you grow and you get better. Everybody's going through a different situation right now, but a lot of the situations are similar. And so I'll be sharing some of my situations, some of the things that I've learned over the last few years, and how to overcome them. And hopefully it serves you and your business. My business grew up quickly. We had our first couple of in 6 months. They didn't even know what we were doing. We were just excited, bringing people in. 9 months, we hit our first cut of millionaire team. And in 18 months, more or less, we hit our first cut of president's team, which then ended up becoming 20K and 6 years to championship. We built very high royalties. We continue to build about the marketing plan. Not really having some understanding. I'm not a stupid person, so I knew kind of what was going on. But obviously, you learn a lot more through the years, and you start to realize some of the things that you did right, some of the things that you did wrong. And actually, we ended up, going to build a seven-figure 7 million lifetime achievement, 4 times in the top 10 reviews, and we were on top of the world. We were on top of the world for a while. Now, listen, I come from nothing. I'm Cuban. I came to the States when I was 10. Come from a poor family. My parents did everything they could to provide for us, but they went through a lot of tough times in my upbringing. And so that's my story. That's who I am. I have no special skills, no special nothing. I'm a very passionate person. I'm very committed. And when I decide to do something, I go for it. And I'm not scared to work hard. And my wife is the same. So nothing special. We're just really committed. And I'm not going to stand up here and talk about Lamborghinis or Ferraris, because all of you already know that that's possible, within your life opportunity. All of you know everything that's possible through the marketing plan. All of you know everything that's possible if you reach these chairs up here. And I believe that chairs are told me it's 30K and bonus winners. Congratulations to all the bonus winners. That's amazing. Give it up. You know all the things that are possible in your life. Obviously, if you develop the right skills and you do the work consistently over time, amazing things can happen. Actually, things that were way beyond anything I could have ever dreamed of, anything beyond anything that I could ever imagine, are the things that are available for everybody who does the work and who actually commits. And the success is great, but there's a lot more to be learned during the hard times. And I've learned a lot more over the last 3 years in my career in life than I ever have in the previous 9, or in my life at all. Yes, we had hard times. I know it's kind of, everybody thinks that they see us on social media, and who's been in the company for more than like 5 years? Raise your hand. Okay, so for the most part, all of you guys saw us. We were on the way to the top, and people see on social media one thing, and a lot of the times they don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. So yes, we've gone through hard times, just like many of you. Just like many of you have gone through, and maybe a lot of you, with the exception of my Indian friends, are going through right now. Congratulations to you guys, by the way, for crushing it and blowing it up, and carrying us on. We've either gone through or are going through a hard time currently, no matter what tool you use, no matter what you do. I haven't even seen my time. I'm like, where's my time? Okay, I'm doing okay. The reality is that our business grew faster and larger than we were prepared for. And we didn't have the skills, the experience, or the leadership to sustain it. Your check will always fall to the level of your leadership. Now, I consider myself a person with a decent amount of leadership skills. It doesn't necessarily mean that everyone in my team had enough time to build some of those same qualities. And so, the only way that happens is if I become better myself and I do a better job of teaching them. But that didn't happen, obviously, throughout the first 9 or 10 years of my business. And so, not cool, the way it's probably happened for a lot of you. What happened for us was that the business dropped, and then once the business dropped, eventually even our personal production started to become affected. Which for us, we've always done very high personal production. Okay? And we're like, okay, the team is slowing down, but we're still doing good, there's nothing wrong. Fine, it might just be the time, whatever. But then our personal production started to take a hit, and that's when we started to realize, okay, something's got to give. And I'm not going to share, we've always done really happy. I'm not going to share what a personal production drop is for me, because you're probably going to think that we're kidding. But for us, it was one of those red flags. It was a sign that something had to change. So it got to a point where we were faced with 3 different options. And many of you are faced with those same 3 options right now. And listen, if your business is booming right now, if your business is through the roof, Congratulations. There will come a time where things are not the same. There's flows in every business, and there's seasons in every business. And so, the information is valuable to you nonetheless, because there's something to be learned for when those times come. And that's something else like things are not always going to be on the way up. Sometimes things are on the way down. Now, how you react to that and what you do is what makes you different from everybody else. So, it was actually, I forgot who it was that said it in the Chairman's Club meeting the other day. It's actually, I kind of live by this, but there's a saying that goes, strong people create good times create weak people create hard times create strong people. This is a cycle. And this cycle repeats over and over. And so a lot of us right now are in that part of the cycle where hard times are going to test us, and hard times are going to build strong people. But not everybody's going to do that. It's going to take a lot of different skills to be learned, a lot of different sacrifices to be made for you to show up as one of those strong people that are going to build the good times once again for everybody else to benefit from. And that's where we are right now for a lot of us. So in hard times, you have three options. Number one, you can sit around and wait for things to get better. And I have people in my organization that are saying, no, next year, the boom is coming. I'm like, well, what are you doing about it? What are you creating? No, it's just, it usually happens that way. There's a couple bad years and then the boom just comes. I'm like, well, the boom got to start somewhere. Somebody's got to build a momentum. Somebody's got to create the stuff that's going to help the boom happen. It doesn't just happen. But there's a lot of people, maybe a lot of you, sitting there right now, that you were waiting for the momentum to start. You keep saying, no, it's coming. No, it's coming. I'm telling you it's coming. But you're doing nothing about it. You're doing nothing to make it appear. Let me tell you right now, it's not going to appear out of thin air. Somebody has to build it. Somebody has to get it going for it to actually take it. So just thinking or believing or hoping or saying that you're positive and that everything's going to be all right doesn't mean that everything is going to be all right. We need some strong people to start taking the actions to make things all right. That's option number one. Maybe that's some of you right now. My hope with this presentation is that it makes you self-reflect. I want to expose you to yourself, not to anybody else, but I would like to expose you to yourself. And that might be a hard truth to swallow a lot of these things. But that's the point. Where are you right now? Are you number one, sitting around waiting for things to happen? Or are you number two, which is you can blame everything and everyone and the bad that the company or your upline fixes the problem for you? Are you there right now? There's a lot of you there right now. Listen. Your upline is probably not going to solve your problems. Especially at this point where you guys are in right now, you guys are all leaders. You guys are the uplines. Okay? You're not going to solve your problems. The company, they're doing their best. But they're not going to solve your problems overnight. And we all know, if you're in the company, you know, we might be sitting around waiting for a while. And that seems to be changing. That seems to be changing. And thank you guys for that. But you can't depend on the company. Listen, we all want better things from the company. We all want better products. We all want more volume from each product. We all want, a marketing plan that pays us even more. We all want all these things that we ask the company for. We all want Herbalife 2.0, 3.0, 10.0, which we should be at 10.0 by now. We all want these things, but it seems like we got some cool stuff coming, some AI and some stuff. We all want these things, but these things take time. This is a giant shift. And so if you wait around for this giant shift to change course, you're going to be waiting around for a long time. And so waiting for the company to solve your problems is not the solution. Because no matter how much we want to solve your problems, it's not going to happen as fast as you want it to happen. And it's not going to happen as fast as it needs to happen, and you need change fast. You need change with speed, immediately. You can't rely on the company to give us that because things take time with the company. Your sponsor, not going to happen either. So what's the one option left? What's the third option? Okay. The third option is the option that I hope that everybody here who's struggling or who's trying to get better walks out of here with. And that option is that you man up and find the solutions to the problems yourself. Because nobody is coming to your rescue. Nobody. Only you. Now, if you're one of those people who's facing one of those situations today, if you're in the same place that I was in right now, let me give you some realities. Number one, these are tough pills to swallow. Number one, whatever is happening in your business right now, good or bad, is your fault. It's not your upline's fault, it's not the company's fault, it's not your downline's fault, it's not your sideline's fault, it's not the fault of the market, it's not the fault of the country, unless you have some extreme situation, like war, or some of those extreme situations. But even then, people still figure it out. Congratulations. Whatever is happening, good or bad, is your fault. Nobody else's. And you have to take responsibility. There's a quote from Earl Nightingale that I really like, where he says, "We are all so vain, but only the successful will admit it." Everybody's willing to take responsibility for their actions when things are going good. When you're getting all the awards and you're getting all the medals and you're walking off stage, and you're walking on the stage like a peacock getting all the recognition, everybody takes credit for that, everybody loves that. Very few are willing to take credit when they mess up, or when things are not going their way. Again, it's time for you to take ownership of your mess ups. Or even if it wasn't a mess up, of what you lacked, or what you didn't do, or what you could have done better. Because there's always ways to do things better and to improve. Now, quiet room. The messenger of bad news, or deliver but I'm not just going to deliver bad news. Okay. My purpose here is not just to deliver the bad news. My purpose is to give you some tools and some action steps so that you can start moving in the right direction. So there are some good news within this presentation. Everybody down for some good news? Okay, yeah. Good. Now that we're clear, we got the first part out of the way. Let me give you some good news. The good news, as you probably already realized, is that you're not alone. Look to your left, look to your right. The person to the right or to the left of you is probably going through a similar situation. Truthfully, even if it doesn't seem like they are, even if they don't admit it, they're probably going or have gone through a similar situation. So you're not alone. No matter the level where we're at, we all wish things were better. So even if you're doing good, there's always ways for things to be better. We all wish our teams produce more. We all wish our personal production was higher. We all wish that all these amazing things would happen. No matter where you are. Now, understand that if you're here, okay, it's because you know that things could get better. Otherwise, you're going to stay home. There's a lot of people that stay home. They gave up. Some couldn't travel for different reasons, but a lot of them were just like, you know what, it's going to be just another event. And they gave up. And they stayed home. If you're here because and it needs to understand that with a little bit of leadership, new knowledge, you can get better. So congratulations for being here, because I think after this weekend, you're going to receive the information you need to get better. So, when things started going in the wrong direction in my business, I probably reacted a little bit later than I should have, a little bit more delayed than I should have, but I reacted. And when I started to see the trends changing, I decided I committed myself to becoming a student. I said, okay, I don't have the tools or the leadership or the solutions to the problems that I'm currently facing. What can I do? Well, the only thing that I could do was learn new skills. So I dedicated myself to becoming a student. I started learning about nutrition clubs. I flew out, went to see Trey. At one point I flew out and went to see Jonathan Rodriguez's clubs. I decided to become a student. I didn't know much about nutrition clubs, and I wasn't even sure if that was going to be the thing, but I had people in my organization who were asking about it, and I needed to know. Went out, learned about it, learned not just a little. I understand the ins and outs of nutrition club just as good as anybody else who runs nutrition clubs on a daily basis. Why? Because I committed, I decided to learn, I became a student, I let go of ego, and I made a commitment to get better and to become a better leader. I learned about nutrition clubs. I learned more things than I needed to learn about social media. I learned about a lot of different tools. I learned more about leadership. I learned more about our industry. I learned more about what we do. I got better. And I dedicated 3 years of my life to just learning. While still working and applying some things, and some things were working, and some things weren't, and some things worked, and some things weren't. And most things didn't work, but I kept trying new things and applying new things and learning new things. And those 3 years of learning, although all that learning didn't transition into royalties at that moment, I was building the foundation. I was building the right foundation to build the next wave of royalties within my organization. Okay? Now, here's what I decided to do. I decided that I had to find different solutions to the things that were happening. I decided that I needed to pivot. I couldn't keep trying to attack the problems I was having with the same old solutions that were not working. I had to find new things, I had to pivot, I had to create new ideas and come up with new stuff. And so, the next section here, the next few points I'm going to go over, they're going to explain some of the things that I did at that point in time in my life and my business that allowed me to start moving in the right direction towards the next level. These principles that I'm going to share with you apply to anybody in the room. Obviously, there's no brand new distributors here, but even if you're a brand new distributor, this would apply to you as well. So, everybody now, I would like for you to listen to this next part of the talk. Without your pin. Don't take it off. But in your mind, remove your pin. You're no longer at the level that you're at. You're a brand new distributor. Because looking at this next section as a brand new distributor will give you a different perspective. Because sometimes, when we hit the higher levels, and the higher level can even just be get to, you lose perspective and you forget what it was that got you there to begin with. You also sometimes forget that you're in a better place today, even with all of your complaints and all of your issues that you're facing, you're in a better place today than you were when you started. For most of you. And so listening to this, forgetting what level you're at, and listening to it as if you were a brand new distributor will give you a different perspective and a different way of understanding this that I think will be beneficial. Now, this is not a theory. This is what my wife and I, these are the actual steps that we took when we were embarking on the next wave of growth for our business. We sat down and we went through all these points ourselves. And this is exactly what we carried out, which now has us, once again, in growth, personally, And it's got us probably the most excited that we've ever been in our 12 years of doing it. I kid you not. Right now. Woo! This is not a joke, but I'm not just saying that just to make you feel good. I'm telling you right now, this is the most excited that I've ever been in my entire career. Why? Because I have more confidence in myself than I did. Why? Because I learned, I got better, I grew. I committed to becoming a student. I learned how to pivot. And this changed everything. So this for me, although my numbers are not reflecting the excitement yet, is the most exciting time in my career. Now, let me rephrase that. Our personal numbers are actually better than they've been in the last 7 or 8 years. Even at the height of our business, we're having better months now than we've ever had. Not that we've ever had, but we've had in a long time. We're recruiting more distributors, and we're not just recruiting more distributors, we're recruiting a different type of distributor. A very high caliber distributor. We've never done that to this level in the past. And so I'm going to share with you some of the things that we did that helped us kind of get clear on what we had to do. Number one, the first thing we had to do, we had to sit down. Listen, we're all dusty. Okay? We're all dusty. So this was part of our process of dusting ourselves off, cleaning our work boots, and getting back on the ground and into action. So number one, determine why you want to do this. Many of you forgot this word. It's called the why. You heard that? Many of you that already came up and you're getting guilty, pressing, you forgot the why. Because maybe you took care of some of the things that you originally had as your why, and now you got lost. You got lost in the sauce. You don't know what to work towards anymore. I'm telling you now, if you don't have something to work towards, you're not going to work it out. There's got to be a reason for doing this, whatever that reason is for you. If that's changing the world, changing the world. If that's making money, making money. If that's a specific person in your life, it's that. But whatever it is, you're going to figure out what it was. For Daisy and I, it was our team. We had to get to our team to show them the right path and to lead them in the right direction. And we can't lead them in the right direction if we don't take the action first ourselves and if we don't move in the right direction first ourselves. We have to blaze the path. We can't expect them to follow if we're not leading. So that was our reason for coming back. Not coming back, we never left. That was our reason for getting back into madness kind of action. So what do you want to achieve in your life? What do you want to achieve in your own life, in your own life career? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years in your own life career? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years in your life? You got to figure that one out. If you don't have that one figured out, it's going to be very hard to take action without that at the forefront. Number two, we have to determine, sit down and talk, we have to determine a level of commitment. How much time are you willing to invest daily into your business, into your future? Is it part-time, full-time? We sat down and went over this. We said, okay, with our current commitments, with our current check, with our current situation, how much time can we possibly commit to this? Now, it might be different for some of you. Some of you part-time, full-time, whatever it is. For us, I work really well under pressure. So we said we want madness. We want to be overwhelmed. We want to not have a chance to breathe. That's how much we want to work. I've been here since Sunday, and a lot of my friends have invited me to dinner over the last 3 days. And I'm sorry, friends, I didn't go to dinner. Not because I didn't want to hang out with you guys, but because I had to stay back in my room and work. So I ordered room service, and I worked. That's my kind of level of commitment. No distractions, extreme focus, and work. All day, every day, I want madness. That's our level of commitment. It doesn't have to be yours. But whatever it is for you. Next. You get chance come, founder, you still got to build credibility. Because if you've been out of the game for a while, you lose some of that credibility. So you got to build credibility. How do you build credibility in the marketplace? Well, the easiest way to do it, and the first way that you should be working towards, is with your physical results. Physical results. A lot of you got amazing transformations. 20 years ago. The better, here's what I've noticed. The better your physical results are, the more attractive you become in the marketplace, and the more people want to work with you. The more people want to buy products from you, the more people want to do business with you. It's unbelievable what happens. Crazy, right? Well, that was our first step. We said we got to get in the best shape of our life. We're on our way to do it. So build credibility. It doesn't mean having a six-pack. It doesn't mean you have to be the fittest person on the face of the earth. Just look in the mirror and be like, okay, I look good. You can't look in the mirror and say, okay, I look good, or I look better than I did a month ago. You got to keep working. 4, after you do the first 3, go in order. This is what we did. We sat down and we went through these things, guys. It's not like some theoretical thing, because we actually did this. After we did all that, obviously we didn't get in better shape overnight. We started working towards that. But the next one was, so we established a level of commitment. We figured out why we wanted to do this. We realized that we had to build more credibility. We started working towards that. And then we had to identify a method for prospecting. Okay, how are we going to start prospecting now? You can obviously start with your circle. Once again, no matter where you're at, you can start with your circle because your circle changes over time. But to build a big business, eventually, we have to develop other strategies for prospecting. Without prospects, there's no business. Now, it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be social media, it could be nutrition clubs, it could be, face-to-face, you could be out in the streets giving out flyers. Whatever it is that you want to do, you got to figure out a sustainable way of prospecting that will never dry up. Without prospects, you're not going to have a business for long. And the reason I say you have to figure this out is because your way of prospecting today might be different than your way of prospecting 20 years ago, if you decide to start working again. So figure out how you're going to go out and how you're going to prospect. The next thing is that you have to have a structure to follow. Okay, you got the prospecting down, you're getting prospects, you're getting distributors, you're getting customers. Well, now you need a structure to follow. You need something to plug these clients into, and you need something to plug these distributors into. That was number 5. So what are you going to do with the clients? What are you going to do with the distributors? If there's already an established structure within your team, then use that structure. But if you have no structure, you're going to lose people. And if you lose people, all that work prospecting and doing all these things that we talked about will be in vain. We decided to use challenges for our structure. Use whatever you want. It doesn't matter, but you've got to have some structure to plug your people into, both clients and customers. And there's got to be a flow built into that structure that eventually leads somebody from being a client to being a distributor. Whatever it is for you, it doesn't matter. Have a structure. Number 6 was, we had to develop consistency and work ethic. Once again, because we had that for a long time, but when you stop doing it, you lose it. So we had to start teaching ourselves and educating ourselves and forcing ourselves once again to have a high level of consistency and a high level of work ethic. We had to dust ourselves off. And it was a process, wake up. Don't go to the dinner, stay working. We did all these things back in the day, but over time we stopped doing them because you get comfortable. We had to redevelop these things. With constant work, you'll begin to see the fruits of your personal business, or the fruits in your personal business, and developing your team. Consistent work over time will create momentum, and momentum will make everything happen easier and quicker. Okay? So if you do all these things, the first thing you'll see is your personal production starting to increase. And then eventually, over time, that leads into what we all want, which is supervised performances. 7, develop a culture of attending events. So once you have all this, you bring in the people in, you have the system for prospecting, you have the system that flows a person from a client to a distributor, you have the whole thing, and you got the consistency, you got all that. And you have a team that's starting to build, you have the royalties building. Now you got to develop a culture for attending events, because events will be key to the retention of your team. Events will be key for the development of your team. Now, really, the events are not only going to help your team, but they're going to help you as well, because you are the most important member of your team. So, lots to learn from this. Now, those were the kind of the 7 points that we went through when we were recommitting to going all in. Now, I'm leaving with some tips. And I'm also going to leave you with some final realities for you to ponder. Number 1, the team that got you where you are today will get you to the next level. You've heard that before. It's worse. The team that got you to where you are today, in many cases, is actually the team keeping you from going to where you want to go. They're holding you back. If I would have invested all the time that I spent trying to get things to get into building a business, I'd probably be found in trouble today. It doesn't mean ignore them. Love them, help them when they need help, but invest most of your time and energy in new business. Susan says it, first one. New business, my friends. Learn to let go and build new. Learn to let go. This is a tough one for a lot of people. You got to learn to let go. Build new. Next, understand there's no economic problem. Unless you're in some country where there's an extreme situation. There's no economic problem. People spend money all the time. If you doubt this, go to the airport, go down to the shopping mall, go anywhere, you'll realize really quickly that people are spending money. They're just not spending it with you. Why? Why are they not spending it with you? Interesting question. Next one. The product is only expensive if all you sell is the product. But we're not Walmart or Amazon. We don't just sell products. We have this whole thing called distributor difference that comes along with the product. And there's value in that. A lot of value. The product is not expensive because everything that comes with it. Understand this. People don't come to you just for product in most cases. And if they're coming to you just for product, they have a problem. People come to us for the value that we can add to them and to their life. Become a valuable distributor, and your prospects will gladly pay you. If you're struggling to get people to pay you, what you're asking for is because you have not built the value. Become more valuable. Build more credibility. Is that the last one? I got more. Oh, here we go. Along the way, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be difficult moments, it's global, it happens in every company, in every business. To overcome these obstacles, you're eventually going to have to adopt new strategies, new ideas, and you're going to have to face new realities, in many cases. Never stop working yourself, never stop learning, never stop developing new skills, don't be afraid to pivot. Always have a winner's attitude. Your attitude, you've heard this, determines your success. Think big. Be ambitious, and ultimately, don't give up. But not giving up is not enough. There's a lot of you that haven't given up in a long time, but you're still on the next level. Not giving up isn't enough. It's about not giving up and putting in the work and the action that it requires to get to the next level. The phrase, if you don't give up, you make it, is a myth. If you don't give up, you work your ass you might make it. If you're consistent, you work hard, you're smart, you're willing to learn, you're willing to grow, you're willing to get better, and you don't give up, eventually, you'll make it. And no matter how long it takes, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to get to the chairman's club final circle, eventually, my friends, I'm telling you, it'll be worth it. Thank you.